Few modern games can give you a genuine feeling of celebration. The gaming industry has long entered its serious era, but not Playground Games and their Horizon Festival series. Here, racing, the spirit of competition, killer music, and hundreds of cars carry us along the roads of new countries, which is exactly why Forza Horizon 6 is so popular. More details in our review. It's worth noting right away that there won't be any deep analysis or comparison with previous Horizon games. The reason is simple. I barely remember the fourth one, and I dropped the fifth after just a couple of hours. The setting just wasn't for me. I don't like deserts, mountains, one-story provinces, and the eternally blazing sun overhead. But Forza Horizon 6 is a completely different story. There aren't many big-budget racing games from major studios set in Japan. Especially considering Japan has its own rich car culture, Drift, which was born in the land of the rising sun. Just that fact alone drew me into the new Horizon. The game is pure fun. Playground Games' greatest achievement as a studio is that they manage to give you joy simply from the act of playing their game. Don't get me wrong, but I still remember the sheer fun I felt playing Need for Speed Most Wanted and Carbon, Burnout 3, Takedown, and Flatout. It was just genuinely enjoyable to cruise around virtual worlds and tracks. I haven't experienced that feeling from racing games since those days, not even in later Need for Speed titles that either tried to become simulators or wanted to be the Fast and the Furious. Playground Games, Xbox Game Studios after the first demo race in Forza Horizon 6, where they let you drive all kinds of car classes through the most picturesque parts of virtual Japan, I felt it again. I was having fun controlling a pixel car on the screen. My friends' Drivatars were shoving each other on tight corners, developer bots were overtaking me on straights like I was standing still, and this was on medium difficulty. And when they finally let you loose to explore the local beauty in your starter car, you immediately realize, this is where I'm spending my whole summer. Festival atmosphere, as already mentioned, in the Forza universe there's the Horizon Festival, a massive racing event where the best and worst drivers from around the world gather. Spectators cheer from the stands and give standing ovations at the end of every race. This feeling is captured perfectly in the sixth game. Entire districts of Tokyo are redesigned just for the festival so supercars can race through the streets of the metropolis. They build a container track in the port that you have to complete in under 4 minutes, otherwise, no coveted 3 stars. And for dessert, the organizers pit you against 2 airplanes and a giant Gundam robot from the anime and challenge you to beat them. Playground Games, Xbox Game Studios. I think my main point is clear. Very few racing games have tried as hard as Horizon to give you a real sense of celebration. In the industry these days, we mostly see serious stories about losing family, raising children, saving the world, or the universe. Even in racing games, developers often try to inject unnecessary drama. Your entire car collection was stolen, you have to rise from the bottom and get revenge. You were framed and need to climb a list of 15 racers while also shaking off the cops. You owe a ton of money and have to drive across the country in 24 hours or they'll kill you. You get the idea. Meanwhile, Playground Games clearly employs fans of Burnout 3. Takedown, which took you around the world, created an atmosphere of festive madness, and had a cheerful DJ announcing new tournaments and championships in the background. Unfortunately, you can't destroy entire columns of cars by smashing into a fuel tanker in a brand new Ferrari anymore. But Forza Horizon 6 does its best to carry over everything else from Burnout. We choked these Drivatars out as players, we once again have a goal and some form of career. While the fifth game completely abandoned any sense of progression, handing out supercars from the very first second you appear in Mexico, in the sixth one you actually have to fight for your place under the sun. Playground Games, Xbox Game Studios. Every race in the sixth game brings you closer to becoming a Horizon Festival legend, and you have to earn it against all odds. Because what could be better than beating the champions of past festivals and proving that no one is cooler than you? Armed with a collector's journal that logs all my achievements, I went to my first race and barely scraped into third place, somehow catching the leaders. Wait, what? I exclaimed and restarted the race hoping to beat those cocky bots. I finished sixth. The game even suggested lowering the difficulty to easy because I was losing so often. That only made me angrier. I'm a genre veteran who's been playing racing games since childhood. I was genuinely shocked that the AI bots were putting up such a fight. I had forgotten what it felt like to actually have to learn and improve even against the computer, the same feeling I had with Most Wanted or Flatout. At the same time, the Drivatars system, which reads your friends' driving styles, made me realize I wasn't racing random bots but real people I know. Or rather, they're highly accurate digital projections. Playground Games, Xbox Game Studios. I see my friend Nikita's nickname perfectly nailing every corner, and I start playing dirty because I know he'll overtake me at the finish. My buddy Oleg's Drivatar starts bumping my rear wheels when he gets close. He really does play like that in his own campaign and wins through aggressive driving. And these are just a couple of examples. How I stopped being afraid and started understanding tuning. Another major achievement of Forza Horizon 6 is that if you want to raise the stakes and play on higher difficulty, you'll actually have to tune your cars and keep an eye on your garage. There are over 550 cars in the game, but you're unlikely to collect them all in one playthrough, let alone drive every single one. However, finding 15-20 cars that you like both visually and in terms of handling, then rebuilding them for your needs, different race types, or fine-tuning them right before a race, that's totally doable. Playground Games, Xbox Game Studios. That's exactly what happened with my RX-7. I tuned it to the absolute peak of automotive fashion. It easily hit 300 km/h on straights but had one big flaw: any turn of the wheel would send it into a drift, often uncontrollable. No matter what rally parts or tires I installed, the problem remained. But I love this car, I told myself, and for the first time in many years I dove deep into tuning. In Forza Horizon 6, tuning isn't just swapping parts, it's incredibly fine adjustment of seemingly every single component. Tire pressure, suspension, camber and toe for front and rear wheels, transmission shift timing, torque distribution. You can easily get lost. But I sat down and slowly started reading every setting to save my RX. After I got a completely different car, one that almost eliminated the uncontrollable drifting while keeping the high top speed, I realized the game is much deeper if you choose to dig into it. Playground Games, Xbox Game Studios. Just for fun, I turned off all driving assists, removed the racing lines, adjusted the camera for drifting and normal driving, and switched difficulty to expert. That's how I drive around Japan now. No virtual helpers holding me back on high-speed runs. Drifting feels much more comfortable and every new car becomes a testing ground. A long-forgotten feeling returned when you win a race in Forza Horizon 6 through hard work and throw your hands up in the air shouting something like "woohoo." Take that, you hunks of metal! Relaxation after work. But everything described above is only part of the Forza experience. You can ignore all of that and play on standard settings, casually upgrading cars within their class, and still have a great time completing every race. Because every event here tries to give you emotions not only through sweat on your forehead, but through the tracks themselves. Rally on dirt and mud, street races through nighttime Tokyo, winding mountain descents on Japanese serpentines. I could go on forever listing all the available competition types. There's entertainment for every playstyle, from I'll relax for a couple of hours in the evening to I want to set a new record among my friends. Playground Games, Xbox Game Studios. Local stories also help you relax. These are special events featuring Horizon characters. They might take you on a scenic tour of Japan in a convoy, then hand you a supercar and let you loose on the local highways. The Drift Club missions will actually teach you how to drift, tell the story of how the culture was born in Japan, immerse you in the movement, and explain why it still attracts people today. And if you don't feel like scripted trips or racing against Drivatars, just go explore the open world. There are tons of hidden cars, collectibles, and challenges. Speed traps, radar cameras, dangerous jumps, drift zones, and the ability to carve your own path through the forest to another district. It's perfect when you're exhausted after a workday and just want to mash buttons to good music without straining your brain. Warning, your eyes and ears are doomed to have a great time. Speaking of music, I'll allow myself a bit of liberty here. As someone whose musical taste was largely shaped by racing games from my childhood and youth, I declare, Forza Horizon 6 has perhaps the best racing soundtrack in the last 2 decades. I can't think of a single competitor in the genre that could challenge it for this title. Playground games? Xbox Game Studios. Here you'll find mind-blowing electronic tracks that make you dance in your chair, catchy Japanese pop that makes you move, and soul-piercing rock accompaniment. When I heard the new Linkin Park song Up From the Bottom during a race, I thought I was dreaming. And when Rise Against, Babumtal, Poppy and Pendulum started playing, I was in seventh heaven. Selecting songs that inject adrenaline into your brain, perfectly match the roar of engines, support the pace of the race, and provide aesthetic pleasure all at once is incredibly difficult work. The people responsible for the Forza Horizon 6 soundtrack deserve a major award. I also want to praise the designers and the graphics team. Every car is reproduced in incredible detail, both outside and inside. You can examine them endlessly. And seeing this virtual Japan on my TV at maximum settings with ray tracing enabled sometimes makes me whistle in amazement. When the lighting dynamically changes during a race, the setting sun reflects in puddles against the mountains, and you see glares from headlights and roadside lamps on the car. My mind is blown. It's that beautiful. Of course, internet critics who watched a few YouTube videos have already said the sixth game is no different from the previous ones. If you've heard that nonsense, don't believe it. There simply isn't a more beautiful game in the genre. Diagnosis: I would give Forza Horizon all 10s, 5s, and stars without the slightest hesitation. But since we're not about numbers but about opinions and emotions, I'll just say this. Go and play the new Forza. A feeling of celebration, competition, speed, and audio-visual orgasm is guaranteed. After all, playground games have given us one of the best games in the genre in many, many years.